What's up guys, TechTine here, and this is the Nokia C200. Now, I know I'm kinda late to the party, but better late than never. So this phone is MSRP'd at around $120, but trust and believe that you can get this phone at this point in time for far less. So you will not pay MSRP for it. I've seen it getting sold for 50 bucks, 60 bucks, and 70 bucks. And I'll leave a purchase link in the description below, so if you're interested in buying this phone, there you go. There should be a link in the description below. Okay, so this is going to go down like this. We're going to talk about the design, we're going to talk about the display, we're going to talk about the performance, the camera, and I'll end it in a conclusion. So the first thing that I want you to keep in mind, and for the sake of this review, we're just going to say that this phone is priced at $70. So keep that $70 price point in mind while I'm talking about this phone. And let's go ahead and talk about the design itself. So this phone is built entirely out of plastic, and the back does have this kind of noted texture to it, so it feels nice. And one of the things that I really like about this phone is how compact it is, but more on that later. So the back is made out of plastic, and it does have this kind of ever so subtle texture to it, so it should help with the grip here and there, but obviously go ahead and get a case for it if you want to protect it. Okay, and you also have the Nokia logo, which is placed in a weird manner. I don't know why they place it in a landscape form instead of portrait. Okay, and the top of the phone does house your camera module. So it's a single camera, 13 megapixel sensor. We're going to talk more about it, of course. And it sits near flush, so it does protrude, but it's so freaking subtle that I don't think this phone will rock back and forth if you set it on a flat surface. It shouldn't. And so at the bottom, you also have a back-facing speaker with a little nimble to kind of, I guess, not block the noise if you set it on a flat surface, but back-facing speaker is never good. Okay, so as far as the port selection goes, on the bottom you do have a USB-C as well as a microphone, and the USB-C is maxed out at 10 watts, so no confirmed fast charging here, and it's kind of disappointing, but like I said in the beginning, keep in mind that $70 price point. And on the top, you also do get a headphone jack. You also have your power and your volume up and down on the right hand side. They're mushy, they're not really tactile, so that is something that I was disappointed in. And you don't get a fingerprint sensor or anything like that. And really that's where you begin to notice the kind of the cost that Nokia cut when it came to making this phone. Okay, so this display. So Nokia has a 6.088 inch display. For the sake of this review, we're just going to say 6.1 inches. And it's a HD plus display, so it's not a 1080p panel. It doesn't support 90 Hz, and it doesn't support any crazy features. It's just a HD IPS panel. Now, I'm not going to beat this display too hard because listen, one, it's not that bad. Quality-wise, I like it. I don't hate it at all. However, resolution-wise, it is going to take a hit. And listen, I've seen worse displays at this price point. If you look at the TCL Ion X that I did a video on previously, it should be somewhere on my channel, so if you want to check it out, go ahead. You would see that that display is worse. Now, overall though, here's what I have to say about the design of the display. It makes for such an ergonomic feel. Now, I can relatively use this phone all in one hand. Of course, it's going to be easier to use it with both hands, but I can manage with just one hand, which is nice. I really like how ergonomic this phone feels. And it kind of reminds me of the LG Aristo 5 from way back when. RIP LG. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of, and that's why for whatever reason I just like how this phone is built, right? It doesn't use the most premium materials, but it does a good job in the ergonomics on how it feels in the hand. So definitely give a Nokia thumbs up for that. Now let's talk about the camera. So this phone does have a 13 megapixel camera, and listen, you're going to be disappointed if you're thinking that you're going to get a good camera in this phone. It takes pictures, and you can look at your pictures and they're usable in some scenarios. However, it's a potato quality camera at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna judge this camera too harshly, and I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too much props for this camera. However, there are a couple cool features that I really like. So the first one is how quickly it is to taking pictures. So it's pretty much snap and shoot and instantly takes picture and it instantly takes a picture and processes it. The other thing that I like about this camera is if you look at the top, it shows you how many images you have left until you run out of storage. And same with video, it shows you how much recording time you got until you run out of storage. So two cool things that I like about this camera. But like I said, it's at the end of the day as basic as you can get in a camera at a phone at this price point. The front-facing camera is embarrassingly bad. I don't even want to show it. Overall, though, that's just the top of expectations that you need to have when it comes to this $70 phone. And I have to reiterate that so that way you just don't disappoint yourself. Okay, now let's quickly discuss the performance of this device. So here's the deal with the performance. This phone does use a MediaTek Helio A22 processor, and it's only quad core, where the cores are clocked at 2 gigahertz, and the graphics chip is also it's a weird chip, to be honest. I've never heard of it. It's called like the Power VR G8320. Yeah, it's as basic as you can get in a GPU. You also get standard 32 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of RAM. Very low numbers and not really that promising. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is the worst part about this phone. Let me start with the Pro. It does have a 4000 milliamp hour battery, which is a thumbs up, but everything else, this phone just performs really slowly, even when it comes to opening up the basic tasks such as your phone app, your messaging app, and your web browsing app. However, if you are patient with it and you're willing to wait those extra seconds, you can get some things done. At least when it comes to the basics. Anything that requires heavy graphics performance, you're gonna get disappointed. And I had this phone crash on me a couple of times. It's expected for $70. However, I do want to add this. When it comes to the stock and the software itself, I like how Nokia just keeps it as stock as they can. It makes the experience a little bit better, even though this phone is slow. So if they had bloatware, lots of bloatware, then I feel like this phone would have even been slower than it is now. So definitely kind of want to give props there, but not too much. Okay, so overall, here's what I do have to say about this device. So the Nokia C200 is, like I said, as basic as you can get for a phone that costs only $70. You're not gonna get the best of anything, right? The best feature that this phone has it for itself actually is the ergonomics and how it feels in the hand. It's really nice, and in my opinion beats out phones that are 150 and more. So definitely gets a thumbs up from me at that price point. So it's not too big and it's not too small. It's just an ideal size, especially for people who are looking to do the basics when it comes to this phone. Everything else, the camera, you will be disappointed. The display, I don't know, it's up to you. I wasn't really fully disappointed with this display. I think that it just does its job. The back facing speaker is bad, so you get a headphone jack and you also get a 4000 milliamp hour battery. So do with that information as you wish. I can only recommend this phone to people who just need a phone on the go in a hurry and they don't have that much money to spend. Or in the least, you want to get your kid a phone that you know they can only use it for phone calls and texting, because everything else is going to be challenging. So yeah, with that being said, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's long overdue, but I did get a couple of requests about this phone, so I just wanted to make this video for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.